2006, one of my researchers found a loophole in Social Security that would allow you to increase your benefits. You know that if you start taking benefits when you're 62, they'll start paying you out, but it's at a decreased level. Or you can wait until 65 and you get the full level, right? You know that's how it works. Well, we found that there was an actual loophole that you had to know about. You could just call up Social Security when you turn 65, and you could fill out some forms, and then you would automatically be getting this higher level. And we started publishing this as a report. And the report says, in big, bold letters, we are not the Social Security Department. We are an independent research company. This is our report about how to get a higher level of Social Security. It was simple. It was totally, there was no allegation that we weren't telling the truth. There was no allegation of fraud. It was an actual thing that you could do. And we had thousands of satisfied customers who did it. Well, we had so many people that did it. In 2010, they eliminated the program, and now today they're suing us for writing it.
And they're saying you're not allowed to tell people what's going on with their Social Security. Think about the magnitude of that. This is Orwellian.
It really is. There's actually a law that was passed in the 1960s that makes it against the law to publish the words Social Security. You're not allowed to write those words. They're forbidden words.
Only in America.
where you're free and where you have First Amendment rights.
But again, they're mad because you ended the little secret loophole they'd written for themselves.
That is exactly what happened. Then you can talk to, you can talk to, don't you have to take it from me. You can talk to anybody associated with the program, and they'll tell you that's exactly what happened.
Well, I remember the buzz on that by 2008 or so with your work on it. I remember people learning about it, and then I remember it being in the news when they got rid of it. People got mad. And again, that's why they can't allow this free open internet any longer. Are you concerned they're going to try to shut the web down during crises?
Oh, I think that's exactly what they're going to do. I mean, that's the whole point of the switch. I think it's going to be very interesting to see if technically they can do it, because the internet was actually designed to withstand a nuclear attack. That's the whole way it's structured, so that any individual node can continue to function. There is no.
Well, that's what cybersecurity is, though, is they're putting their machines in all of the routers, so they can. They're changing the nature of it.
I understand that, but I'm telling you, I think it's going to be interesting to see if they can pull it off, because I don't think it's really possible. I think they can definitely impact most Americans' ability to get on the internet, but I don't think they can shut down the entire internet.
Oh, Porter, don't get me wrong. I totally agree with you. You're absolutely right. Look at Egypt. After 4 or 5 days, they had to turn it back on because it made commerce totally come to a halt. That's exactly the main reason they can't do it. Back in 1 minute with 5 minute summation of other key info and ideas you've got and proven track record for folks who try to protect themselves. StansberryResearch.com.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Alex told you the government announced recently that the recession is over. It ended on June of 2009. The millions of Americans unable to find work might not agree. Perhaps the recession ended for the bankers and government employees, but for the rest of us, things seem to be getting worse. Gold and silver haven't heard the news either. They've begun their long-expected journey to the moon. In addition to converting your shrinking dollars into gold and silver, you should consider a food savings account from eFoods Direct. They both make fabulous investments. Food is our greatest dependency, and we know it will be more precious than any financial resource. You and your family need food to survive a crisis, and you can't eat paper, stocks, or metals. Alex has been urging you to invest in delicious, easy-fix meals to enjoy now or save for long-term. This will freeze the cost of your food while you can still afford it. Visit eFoodsDirect.com on the internet or call 800-409-5633. That's eFoodsDirect.com or 800-409-5633.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Final segment with Porter Stansberry, then part 2 of the interview, live, Lindsey Williams. Our guest website is endofamerica3.com. Porter, we got 5 minutes left. Other key points you'd like to relay to the audience?
The most important thing for me, Alex, is that people take the time. Set aside 10 minutes today. go to endofamerica3.com. Look at my presentation. It's free. Judge it for yourself. Don't rely on what I've said or what you hear from Alex. Make your own decision about what's best for you and your family. Then, if you agree that there is a problem and it is going to get worse, then take reasonable steps to protect yourself. I'm not telling everybody, go bury yourself in a cave or anything like that. I'm saying buy some gold, buy some silver, have a strategic stockpile of goods in your home. Things like medicines that you can't live without, some basic food, some basic fresh water, that kind of stuff. Guns, ammunition. The basic things that you would need to protect yourself and your family if there was a period of time where the social order was breaking down. And again, I'll tell you straight up, Alex, I don't think that it's likely that you're going to have a violent confrontation in most places in America. But I do think it's likely that you will have violent confrontations somewhere in the country this year. So,
well, let me call them places like Detroit, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Miami, Houston.
People think that rioting about food is only going to happen in places like Pakistan and Egypt. But you're forgetting, there are more than 40 million Americans on food stamps. And the purchasing power of food stamps is going to collapse because of inflation.
It's about to hit 44 mil.
Yeah. Well, what do you think those people, you know who these people are, what do you think they're going to do when they can't go out and get their milk and their cigarettes and their lottery tickets?
Yeah, when they can't get their Pabst Blue Ribbon or their drugs, it's going to turn into absolute burning bedlam.
Yeah, and they're gonna blame it all on the likely suspects. They're gonna blame it on the speculators. They're gonna blame it on middle class Americans who are now going to be seen as hoarders, right? So if you've gone and bought gold and silver, you're now a hoarder and you're causing the inflation. When of course it was the paper money to start with.
Well, they're going to say, you didn't give the people more welfare. You cut things. You caused it, when it's a debt black hole. A lot of economists I have on, even the Washington Post says 600 and something trillion. Other economists say 1.5 quadrillion in derivatives, layered debt. I mean, from your research, what's the real amount of derivatives floating around out there?
The number is astronomical. I don't even have that number at the top of my head. But, I mean, one good way to think about it is just to think about how levered Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are. Okay, these are the largest mortgage firms in the world. They hold something like $6 trillion worth of mortgages, and guess what? They're bankrupt. There is no equity underlying any of that debt whatsoever.
And those $6 trillion have all been sold over and over again into the market, and then leveraged again, and then insurance bought on them to the moon.
Right. I mean, and if you added the true liabilities of Fannie and Freddie onto the national debt, which is what you should do because they're now completely wards of the state, then all of a sudden the national debt goes from 14 trillion all the way to 20 trillion, and we're way over 100% of GDP in debt. We're in so much debt, as I've explained, we can't even finance it. And as a result, the only way to make the ends meet is printing money, which is how I know they're not going to stop, and how I know the inflation is going to get a lot worse.
Technically, is it accurate that a lot of analysts say we're worse off than Greece and Spain?
No, there's no doubt about it. Total debt, public and private, United States, is around 400% of GDP. That's the same level that Iceland had when Iceland collapsed by 90%.
Unbelievable, and it's only going to get worse. Well, at least we're here warning people and getting demonized for it. EndofAmerica3.com. Porter, I know that baby's coming soon, but I look forward to having you back up. God bless you, and let me say bye to you in the break, but I appreciate you coming on. Amazing information. Lindsey Williams coming up, and it dovetails with just what he was covering. Stay with us.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on Earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. Diamond Gusset is proud to announce the anthem of the Patriot Movement. They're offering a free CD, T-shirt, and bumper sticker with a qualifying purchase. Diamond Gusset offers great products at great prices while keeping Americans working.
I'm looking for a factory where a man can feed his family. Not worried about them moving it south, closing the doors and shutting her down tomorrow. I'm looking for America.
We're American and be proud. Go to Gusset.com/America.
The land of the free and the home of the brave. Seems like I just woke up one day and it was gone, long gone. But I know in my heart it's still
Again, go to Gusset.com/America today. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Well, for the next hour, Pastor Lindsey Williams joins us. No, this isn't yesterday's show. He's back with us today, the 23rd day of February, 2011, on this Wednesday edition. We're going to go into overdrive in the 4th hour live with the good old fella from the Corbett Report. So it'll be his maiden voyage with us here on air, James Corbett. Really looking forward to that. Okay, I asked Lindsey yesterday to go back and first do the history of this deal being set up in the 1970s with the Arabs to have them buy our T-bills, or the globalist T-bills. The Federal Reserve had hijacked things by then completely. And that then the federal government would try to restrict oil exploration and development and delivery. And we know in about half the country's held in federal hands, and that's where most of the oil is, Alaska, Utah, Rocky Mountains, areas of Texas. They just shut it down. That's on record. And I got emails and questions. People thought it was phenomenal and also frightening information, but it's good to know what's happening from Lindsey's inside sources. One who's now deceased, Ken Fromm, former head of operations, Atlantic Richfield. The other guy, former CEO of a company, oil company, of a big three. We can't say his name. He's still alive and gave Lindsey news just 3-4 days ago on this. That's the new info. And how they're going to double-cross the Arabs. And I got emails saying, how is that a double-cross? Well, if you make a behind-the-scenes deal back with Henry Kissinger in the 70s, that we're going to stop the Americans from getting the oil, so we need it from you, but then you've got to invest it with us. See, if they let free market companies go in, they couldn't do a sweetheart deal and order those companies to buy nothing but T-bills. But by going to dictatorships run by corrupt people like Hosni Mubarak, run by corrupt people, like in Saudi Arabia, the royal family, Bahrain, the list goes on and on, Yemen,